Hello everybody, welcome to Module 2, week number 2, Qualitative Designs. This week we actually start getting into the meat of the course, meaning the research. This week we have Qualitative Designs 1, next week is 2, and then we get into quantitative methods and quantitative designs. Qualitative designs are, I have to say, it's probably the lesser known research that we discussed this semester. Qualitative designs, the data are words, they are interviews, they are themes, but they often are, when you hear about a focus group or interviews, interviews in a certain way, done in a certain way, those are aspects of qualitative research. Now, sometimes there's some bias between the understanding of quantitative research and qualitative research. I can assure everybody in this class, qualitative research is as academic as quantitative. I think it's just people are more familiar with taking a survey, seeing the results of the survey, and just say you're using a Likert scale of 5 and you see that the score was 4.6, favorable, then that says something to you. Qualitative is, like I said, you're looking for, you're using words as data. You're using, and where do those words come from? They could come from an interview, a focus group, something along that lines. So let's get right to it, and we will, as we go on to this material, we'll discuss many ideas surrounding qualitative research in this week and in next week. Specifically, read Chapter 3 and view these videos, 1, 2, and 3. These are all by Jeff Beaudry. We have an overview. You may have looked at this one already. Second one really is on research literacy. And research literacy is the overarching theme to this course. I view it as the ability for you to take an article, a research article, read it, understand it, analyze it, and write about it. So it's the complete opposite from being online and somebody cites a poll that was done somewhere, could be the benefits of smoking cigarettes. And then you find out, oh, this was funded by the cigarette company, or in many cases, people cite research without knowing, is it good research, where is it from, who's funding it, etc. This course is the opposite of that. And in this video, Jeff talks about and gives you an introduction to research, qualitative research. And then in the third video, there's additional information on qualitative research. I highly recommend that you look at each one of these. None of them are that long, but please take a look at them. In the course, number 3, you'll use the online library. And there's other resources that we will be using this semester. And I do want to just quickly go down here. We have Library Assistant from Tim Lynch and Searching for Primary Source Documents. These are the primary source documents are original research. And in a simplistic term, just say, I conduct the research into the best way to educate adult learners. I conduct the research and then I write an article about my own research. That's primary research. If I wanted to do a summary of other people's research about the best way to educate adult learners, I would do, in effect, a literature review, and I would write about other people's research. In a nutshell, that's the difference between primary research or primary source documents and secondary. Okay, so take a look at these resources. There's plenty of information in here that you can take a look at. These are all useful, and if you have the time, I encourage you to explore, because all of these give you an idea of what primary source documents are and how do you find them. Excellent place to start. Take a look at those, excuse me. And then there's, library guides that you can follow. I'd like everybody to participate in the discussion forum this week on reading a research article for the discussion forum. And here's the article. I'll circle back to that in a second. And I'll just show you where it is. Here is the research article I'd like you to read. And the research article is included in here. It's also included up right here. Look at my forest and fields in a different way. There's also a checklist. So what I am looking for, and I'll get into that when we get down to the discussion forums, but I'd like you to participate in the discussion forums on really critiquing this qualitative research article. Please select a research problem or topic. So this is part of the initial assignment that we have, and I do have an announcement on that. Your topic is the topic that you will use to kind of propel you to the final assignment. And the first step of that is for you to identify a topic. The second part of that is for you to submit 6 research articles to me so I can vet them. And the assignment has been moved. Originally, it was due on July 17th. I am pushing it to July 19th. And the reason for that is I want everybody to have sufficient time to research and do the article captures, because this is really an important assignment. It's set you off on either you submit those to me, and I'll show you more detail on that coming up, including an optional Zoom meeting this week, which is July 10th at 6:30. I will specifically talk about this assignment in that Zoom meeting, in addition to any other comment that you may have. So we're going to be analyzing this qualitative research article. Please select a research problem or topic. If you want to shoot me your topic in an email, that's fine. I will respond to that. The article capture assignment, which isn't due now until July 19th. That's where you submit articles to me. Once again, and I have scheduled an optional Zoom meeting coming up on July 10th at 6:30. And here's all the information. So let's talk about the assignment for a moment. So the discussion forum is for you to read the entire article in Chapter 3 in the textbook. Here's the article, and I'll show you that in a second. The purpose of this discussion forum is to discuss collaboratively the article, meaning it's a discussion forum. You put your ideas out there, people comment on it, including asking you questions as the person that's doing the original post. Here's the article, and here are really what I'm looking for. What's the purpose and design of this article? What's the sample and sampling? How did they collect data? Were they interviews, observation, artifacts? All of these are methods that you can use to collect the data. And once again, the data in simplistic terms are word, themes, ideas, patterns. How did they do the analysis? What were the strategies? And overall, the quality. Now, I recommend that once again, you look at chapter 3 and take a look at this checklist, qualitative research articles. I'd like you to do your original post by midweek, meaning which would be the end of the day on July 10th, and then comment on a couple other people. And you can do more than that. So what is the article? I will show you. And so here's the article. And the article, you can read the title. It's from the International Journal of Qualitative Studies on Health and Well-Being. This happens to be, something that's really interesting to me. I look at my own forest and fields in a different way. Experience of nature-based therapy. So as the past natural science educator for the state of Maine. I did an awful lot of teaching outside, out in nature, out in the woods. And I can, from a first-hand standpoint, I can tell you some of the benefits that would occur when I would be out with groups, individuals, for half hour to all day. And this just gets into the details and gets into the research. So this is a really good qualitative research article. A couple of things I did want to highlight, and I did highlight all of this information in the paper. So when you open it, you're going to see the highlighted areas. First thing is the abstract. You can tell an awful lot about the research paper just from the abstract. And, right here, the statement, evidence confirms that nature-based therapy has a positive effect on people with mental illnesses. And then it goes into, however, there is a lack of evidence. So read through that. One key in the abstract, and I don't see it here, but oftentimes, probably 95% of the time, it says this research did A, B, and C. And if you see something like that, this research or our team conducted research, chances are it is a primary source document. So right here, here's another key if this is primary or secondary source. This study is part of a larger study. So right there, this study, I know that this is a primary source. But what you're looking for in all of your papers, all of your research articles that you're going to be looking for are things like this, the background. So here's the background to the research. What was the aim of the research? And right here, once again, big clue, primary source document, primary resource. The aim of this study is to describe. So right there, this is a primary source. The method. What did the researcher use? Coming down. Participants. Okay, we had 42 people, and that's a sample. Data collection. How did they collect the data? Based on the above, the therapist selected 2 participants from each group of the 7 group. Boom, you got it. Ethical considerations of the study, the analysis. The interviews were analyzed by the authors, and the data and findings were discussed and corroborated in a dynamic. So this is the process that they used. Process of data collection and synthesis. Findings. What did they find in the article? Down. You don't have to read every word. Discussion. Big part of, to me, primary source documents. This is where really the authors discuss the entire process. It could be they discuss the challenges. They discuss the findings. And strengths and limitations, once again, this is where the authors are brutally honest, and they might say, okay, we did this study, but we didn't feel like we had a diverse enough group to base much on it. So that is the article. And let me go back to the course. So once again, here's the discussion. What was the purpose and design, sampling, and you can copy and paste this into your discussion forum and fill in the blanks. What was the purpose and design of the qualitative article? Put it in, succinctly write about it. You do not need to give me paragraphs. Overall quality of the article, this is where chapter 3 is going to help you identify, is this a quality article? And how can you tell if it's a quality article? Oftentimes, with how you can tell is somewhat straightforward, but with qualitative research, it seems like it's a little less straightforward. But we're looking for the richness, the robust discussions that you're getting from people and the participants. So once again, if you get to the quality part of this and you say, you know, I give it a medium rating, I'm still not really quite sure how to do this, please just say that. Be honest in your assessment of it. Okay, 15 minutes, far too long, and I do apologize for that. I do, let me circle back to this. We have an optional Zoom meeting coming up on Wednesday at 6:30. If you can make it, that's great. I will focus in on the article capture assignment at that point. And I think at this point, there's the article capture. And while I'm here, I'm just going to go a couple more minutes on it, and bear with me. I'm going to click on that. So here's the assignment coming up, and this isn't due until the 19th of July. The article capture that I'm talking about is right here. No? Okay. So here's the form. You can, it's not all that complicated. Here's the details for article number 1, the author's name, the date, the title, journal title, volume, issue, pages, access the database that you used to find it. What I'd like, and here's an example, I'd like you to put the reference for your article in this format. This is the accepted APA format, and here's an example that they use. So you have, the APA format, you have an example of the APA format, and then what you do, in addition to filling in the form, you write a 3 to 5 sentence summary. Basically, what makes you sure that this is a primary research article, and you might even say the purpose of the article. You don't need to give me a paragraph. 3 to 5 sentences is fine. And when you can see article 2, 3, and then all you have to do is repeat it for all 6 of your articles. So that is it. That's far too much. I know 18 minutes or 17 minutes, and it is an eternity, especially when you're talking research methods. But early on in the class, there's a lot of materials. We'll go into more detail if you can make it to the Zoom meeting. If not, I'll record that, and then you can view it at your leisure somewhere down the road. Okay, everybody, I hope you have a great week number 2. For those that haven't received comments on some of your discussion forums, you'll have those coming, especially the introductions. You'll have those coming to me in the next 2 or 3 days. Okay, bye, everybody.